I am super pumped about this next project. It's something that I've wanted to do for a while now, but haven't gotten a chance. I got to experiment a little bit during this one with blending stain colors, which I haven't got to do. And sometimes I feel like an experiment works, and sometimes it doesn't. I feel like this one did. I'm going to show you guys how to make your very own mountain piece. You can obviously customize the colors. I kept mine nice and neutral to match my decor. I loved making this piece so much that I made two. Now what am I going to do with two of the same piece? Give it to a friend, of course. Stay tuned right to the very end to hear how you can win yours. First thing I'm going to do is cut out my 15-inch circle. My favorite way to draw a perfect circle is to take a strip of cardboard or scrap wood and put 2 holes in it, half the diameter of the circle apart. In this case, 7.5 inches apart. Then tack one end and drag your pencil around the other end. I'm using a scroll saw to cut out my circle, but you can use a jigsaw, bandsaw, or router, depending on what you have available. Next, I'm going to cut my strips for the design. I'm using my table saw and cutting a handful of strips at 1.5 inches. My miter to cut the strips into smaller pieces at the approximate length needed, doing a couple pieces at 15 inches and then getting smaller from there. I laid out my design to see where my 45-degree cuts needed to be made, and then I numbered each piece from the top to make it easier to put back together, and then I marked the angles that needed to be cut. Cut all my 45s and lay them out again to make sure they fit properly. Then I glued them down and let it dry. Once it was finally dry, I used my scroll saw to cut off the excess pieces around the edge. Once again, you could use a jigsaw, bandsaw, or router here. I quickly sanded the edges using a disc sander, but once again, you can use a regular sandpaper, a palm sander, or an orbital sander. Last but not least, I painted mine. I did an ombre stained sky using Golden Pecan by Minwax on the top, Early American in the middle, and Dark Walnut on the bottom. Then I painted my Snowy Peaks white and my Rocky Mountains gray. You could also paint the pieces prior to gluing, but I preferred painting it after. Thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you all again soon. XOX Heidi.